Alistair Campbell, how did Labour lose it so badly?
Well, lots of reasons, but I think that you go right back through the Parliament. Brexit obviously has been a problem for the party. I think that there's not just about the divisions that you've just seen played out, but also the fact, the sense of Jeremy Corbyn being dragged, kicking and screaming to a position that he was never very comfortable with, but also I think not confronting the issue of Brexit, trying to kind of face two ways on it. And then I think also, I do think anti-Semitism became a real problem for the party. It sort of spoke to this kind of nastiness inside the Labour Party that Corbyn's leadership had allowed to enter and develop. I think on the economy, yes, Ian Labour is right. There were lots of things in Labour Party manifesto that people liked, but I think there was a sense that it was to some extent not credible. It couldn't necessarily deliver it.
How much,
and I
Alistair,
also think, people talk a lot about Brexit.
Yeah, I was going to ask you, how much do you take responsibility? People like yourself, like Tony Blair and others, who were leading the People's Vote, the second referendum campaign to overturn Brexit, and in the end we had a People's Vote, we had a second referendum, it was called the general election, and the one candidate who represented delivering Brexit won a resounding majority. I mean, you've got to feel pretty stupid today, haven't you?
No, listen, I fought with the People's Vote campaign because I've thought, and I still think, that Brexit is going to be really bad for this country. And actually, the place behind me, Parliament, I think was getting closer and closer to attaching a second referendum to any Brexit deal. Now, fair play to Johnson. He's decided to go out, have an election on the issue, and he's won the election. And that's,
but that's not my point. My point to you is you got your People's Vote. It was called the election. And it was a clear Brexit election, and the Brexit candidate had a thumping win. At what point do you accept? Because, I'm curious, do you accept the result of this election? Or are we going to have
did you listen to what I said?
As a Remainer myself, are we going to have those who didn't accept the referendum result continuing to squeal and scream that they don't want Brexit to happen? Or are you now going to accept that the resounding majority of this country want Brexit to happen, whether you like it or not, and we now have to accept that that's going to happen?
Well, can I just say, Piers, that was a long monologue which revealed that you didn't listen to the answer to the last question, where I said that he's now got a mandate to do it. So,
I asked whether you agreed with
little sort of speeches on camera.
I asked whether you agree with the fact that we now have to deliver it.
I accept it. No, listen. Piers, I don't know if you understand how democracy works, but if you lose an election,
you do, mate. You're the one who tried to stop it happening.
You agree with everything they've done.
You're the guy that tried to stop democracy happening.
Listen,
you,
Piers.
Tony Blair, Hugh Grant, Steve Coogan, all the others wanted to stop the democratic will of the people from that referendum.
Doesn't look like we're any closer to unity, does it?
From taking place. My question to you on behalf of them all: do you now accept the result of that referendum? Do you now accept that Brexit is the will of the people? And will you stop squealing about it?
I always did. No, Piers, you're the one who squeals because it's what you get paid to do, even though you're bottled out of having a fight for charity. We'll talk about that another day.
You look too weak this morning.
When we talk about a second referendum, in a democracy, you have to fight for what you believe in. Boris Johnson has fought for what he believes in, and he's won. And he's now got a mandate to take his withdrawal agreement through. Does that mean I have to stand here and say I think it's a great thing for the country? No, I don't. You can call it squealing. I can call it having an argument
have to accept,
with you.
You just have to accept that, contrary to every time I've spoken to you in the last 3 years, you've assured me everyone's changed their mind, and if there was another vote, they'd all vote to remain. We've just had an election where the British people have resoundingly shown you they haven't changed their minds.
God almighty.
You can call me Piers.
Piers, it's no wonder your ratings are flagging against the BBC.
Our ratings are soaring.
Just let somebody else speak for 1 minute, OK? No, your ratings are not doing as well as you keep tweeting.
They actually are. They are. Now, what isn't doing as well as you keep tweeting?
Do you think we could stick on the ratings for the Prime Minister and the Labour Party?
I think we... Susanna, I'd love to.
Yes.
I'd love to.
Well, let's stick
Susanna,
to that rather than having a personal fight.
About the campaign. Yeah, let's do that.
Okay.
Let's do that.
Alistair, I want to turn my attention, I'm afraid, to Geeta Harry, because we can see from viewers or the viewers can see, he's waiting patiently in the wings as well.
Oh, sorry. Sorry that he had to listen to Piers' boring monologues as well.
Hey, it may be boring to you, mate. It's not boring to all those who voted leave. You know, you were one of the Ramonas who for 3 years refused to accept the result.
Oh, Piers,
well, I know you don't like it. You may not like it, but you've actually today woken up to the reality the people hadn't changed their mind and they want Brexit.
Count up. No.
All right,
Some
let's go to
people
Guto, Harry.
have changed their minds.
We've heard you say,
they
we
all
all know what you've said
and
for 3 years.
Had it gone to a referendum...
Let's go to Guto, Harry. Guto.
I knew it'd be a waste of time talking
Can you stop calling me God Almighty? I'll go God confident.
No one's
Let's go to Guto, Harry.